Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome to a new video. I'm going to be trying out some bossing on mobile. I know a lot of you guys had asked in the last mobile video that I did if I could do some bossing, so I decided to cover some of them. Right now I'm doing some Bandos. Obviously you guys can see me kind of just going there. I've sped up most of these clips and I figured I would just talk over them because it was a little hard to do some live commentary on these clips because I was recording on my phone and then it would use pretty much my phone microphone and it's just really poor quality. So that's why I'm kind of just like dubbing over them afterwards. Now we're actually starting off with Bandos here, and I think Bandos is one of the easier bosses to do, well, especially if you're a max main. For me, it's pretty easy. You could do about 2 to 3 kills, very easy a trip. Obviously that's not really even trying to, like, I could get that number way up if I was maging or doing something else, but on mobile that'd probably be a little difficult to do. Now I did have my right click options on, which I would not recommend for mobile because you gotta have to like click Bandos and then hold down on it for it to bring that option up. The first kill I did like that and I kind of regretted it. I used a lot more food and it was just really hard to attack him. And the next kill was much more smooth because I turned my attack options on left click and I turned my run options off. So basically I was walking, so what I was doing is I would attack him and then I would basically, what you're supposed to do is attack him twice and then walk under him, because then he only gets to hit you once. Well, so what I would do is I would attack him, and then I would start like walking towards the other side of him, as you guys can probably see on the screen. And then about halfway through, I would just click on him again. I would recommend doing that way better than having the right click option on for your attack, because like I said, for mobile anyways, it's very difficult to do that. You just have to like hold the screen and it wastes so much stinking time. I would love if they have one of the right click options to be like double tap your screen. Maybe in the future they'll change something like that. Now here's the next boss. I decided to do some Jad, and this one was actually very easy. You have to excuse the Gothic D-height top. One of my friends had my Armadillo top, so I kind of look like a scrub in this clip. But yeah, this was actually really easy. From what I recall, I actually never ended up getting hit by Jad, so I had my prayers on point the whole time. And like I said, for anybody who's never done Jad and doesn't know how to do Jad, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this. But I've done Jad probably 30, 40 times or something now, and honestly he's a walk in the park. I still wouldn't try Inferno. I don't even have an Inferno cape even on a PC, so I'd eventually like to try it on my phone probably, like once I've done it a few times, but for this video it's definitely, don't expect it to be in this video because that would just go over pretty sad. But Jad, he's definitely pretty easy on mobile. And now we're at Vorkov. Okay. This boss was not fun. I'll just be straight up honest with you guys, and I wouldn't really recommend doing it on mobile. I actually died probably 2 or 3 times, and I was pretty frustrated, to be honest. I did end up getting several kills too, though. It wasn't just all deaths, but there's so many flaws on doing this on mobile, at least for me. Maybe on a tablet, but the biggest thing I found was when you're trying to do Crumble Undead on that little, like, what is it? I don't even know what it is, but just that little thing that comes after you. It's like during the frozen phase. Anybody who does Vorkov knows what I'm talking about. Right here on the screen. Trying to get that Crumble Undead spell on him, one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my entire life. Like seriously, I would misclick that spell so much. Like I said, on a tablet, go ahead, it'll probably work, but on the phone, it was so hard to click that little spell. I don't know. Which isn't a deal breaker by any means, because you make so much money at the boss, but it just seems like you would always take the 60 damage there, and that was no fun at all. But like I said, it is killable, but I probably wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Alright, so we're down to the Zulrah portion of this video, which was actually pretty fun to do in my opinion. I ended up dying once out of maybe 10 or 15 times that I tried it. It was actually a really easy boss. I enjoyed it a lot, and I can honestly see myself going for the pet on mobile when it does come out. I don't really know when the date is, you know, for this to be released, but I am actually really pumped for it because I can tell you guys, even just trying the beta out for the week, we don't have access to it anymore, so I can't be playing it anymore. But with that being said, I am actually really pumped for the full release on this. I have no clue when it's going to be. I know some people asked me below if I would know. Unfortunately, I don't know when they're going to release it. I feel it's ready though, to be honest. I'm sure there's some stuff that we don't know that they know about, that's the reason why they can't release it, but as far as I'm concerned, like it was so smooth. I am like 100% ready for this thing right now. I'm so excited for it. And I thought I would be only interested in skilling on my phone, and that's why I'm really glad that I decided to come out here and try bosses, and that some of you guys were really pumped up to see a video on it. I can actually really see myself doing some bossing on this, especially when I'm just chilling out, doing whatever I want to. Come to Zulrah with like a T-bow, you can kind of AFK the whole thing, so you're making a bunch of money while doing whatever you're doing out in public, or wherever you're going to be playing on your phone. You can play anywhere pretty much. But that's about it for the Zulrah segment, so we're going to be moving on to raids for the next part. Obviously, you guys want to see this more than anything. I know like a lot of the comments on my last mobile video, everybody said they wanted to see me try some raids, see if it's doable, and honestly, it's probably one of the easier things to do. I guess I just know how to do raids like the back of my hand, so I'm fine with doing it, and most people, if you're learning raids, I probably wouldn't do it on a phone. The other thing I did notice on my phone, maybe it's because it's trying to grab like a Wi-Fi connection compared to my computer that's hardwired into the connection. Everything's a little bit slower. So Tecton I had a little bit of a problem with every time I would click on him. Normally I do I hit him and I walk out of the attack zone, so I kind of safe spot him. On my phone, it's actually quite a bit of a delay, and I found that very difficult to do. Now that could be due to the world that I'm in, but I did try several different worlds, not for raids necessarily, but just while playing throughout the 2 weeks that I had beta. And it just set like every world I would try, there was always a slight delay every time I would click on something. Maybe that's actually just the mobile app itself, maybe it's just not completely perfect. But I do think it's honestly more so just the Wi-Fi connection compared to being hardwired in. Everybody says being hardwired in is way better connection than always connecting to a Wi-Fi. But yeah, other than that, like I said, the lag, it's not like it's unplayable. It's very fun to play. And it, like I said, you could do bossing and stuff. It didn't really affect me too hard. But if you're trying to do something really important or flawless runs, it might be difficult. Like soloing a raid. Well, personally, I don't really solo raids at all, so I don't really know. But I would imagine that soloing a raid on a mobile device would be pretty stinking hard to do. Oh yeah, and another thing off topic, I don't have the recording, but Calfight Queen is also very easy on mobile. Some of those other bosses like Giant Mole and stuff I completely didn't even try, just because I already know Giant Mole, you're just going to AFK it as is. But like I said, stuff like Calfight Queen as well, that it was pretty easy to do on mobile, so for some of you guys wondering, I don't have the clips for it, but like I said, you can reassure that it is pretty easy to do. And another thing, somebody in my clan chat, I was asking some people around what I should do on mobile and stuff, and just asked for their suggestions, and one of them said, what happens if you get a phone call while you're playing RuneScape? I tried to record this, but it actually, when I got the phone call, it kind of just stopped recording, so I couldn't actually get the recording clip of it. But basically what happens is you'll get a phone call, and if you answer the phone, you can kind of talk to the person or whatever, back, you're still in the game. So I imagine it's kind of got a 5-minute marker, as far as the 5-minute timer logged out. I actually thought that was a cool question for somebody to ask, because I didn't even think about it, and somebody was curious about it, so I was like, I'm actually curious myself. But yeah, that's pretty much what happens. You can take a phone call and you guys still logged in. It doesn't really mess up anything. But if you're in combat, that I could actually see that being pretty bad if you get a phone call, because it totally disrupts the entire game and kind of prioritizes a phone call over RuneScape. But jumping back into the raids, the ones that I did were actually pretty easy. I scouted some easy raids, so I did stuff like Tecton, Guardians, Skeletons, just things like that. Obviously that's the stuff you scout for anyways. I did think about going in there and trying Vespula or something, but then I thought, people don't do Vespula even on PC. You know what I mean? You skip it, so why would you do it on mobile? It wouldn't make any sense. So I didn't even bother trying to scout for that one. So all the other bosses though, they're very easy to do. And like I said, you're pretty much going to scout around Vespula anyway, so I didn't even bother to try that. Nobody does that. It's just not worth it. It's probably the worst boss for points. It takes the most damage, it gives you nothing. People don't do that. It's just not really worth it at all. I think some people mastered it and they're pretty good at it, but even then, it's still a low point boss. Everybody knows that. It's not that great. But as you guys can see at Ulm, it's pretty easy. I didn't really have a problem with it. The only thing is that some people that are really good at raids or done a lot of raids like 2K, like my buddy Superman, he could probably tell you what's wrong with this clip and some things I could do better. And obviously it's on mobile, it's not that big of a deal, but any casual raider, just somebody trying to make some money, even watching this, they're gonna be like, yeah, it's fine, you can do raids. It's pretty much just the pro raiders that are trying to do everything efficiently are probably the ones that are going to always want to do it on PC and never touch the phone. But like I said, we're talking about pros here, like the people that can do raids with like 4 brews at the end and they don't take any damage, they're skipping all the phases, they're doing everything they need to do. But there's honestly not too many people that are like that. Those are just the guys that are really good at raids. Alright guys, but that's it from me. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video right here. Well, actually I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the commentary. I'll leave the last 40 seconds of the fight for you guys to watch if you want to. If you don't want to, that's alright, but that's all up to you guys. I figured just some of you guys might want to watch the rest of the fight. But until next time guys, I'll see you later. Peace out.